Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top story today from the New York Post, Trump administration refers New York Attorney General Letitia James for potential prosecution over alleged mortgage fraud. Now that is an interesting way to title that, considering that the alleged part was not a courtesy given to Donald Trump. But I digress. Washington. New York Attorney General Letitia James, who infamously declared that no one is above the law when she was targeting Donald Trump, was hit with a federal criminal referral for instances of alleged mortgage fraud on Tuesday, according to a letter obtained by the Post. Federal Housing Finance Agency William Pulte sent the missive to Attorney General Pam Bondi and Deputy AG Todd Blanche, alleging that James has falsified records to get home loans for a property in Virginia that she claimed was her principal residence in 2023, while still serving as a New York State prosecutor. Imagine that. That occurred in late August 2023, weeks before James began her civil federal trial against the Trump organization for overinflating the value of many of his properties, which ended in a $450 million judgment, which is on appeal and can be appealed, which was laughable. Ms. James was the sitting Attorney General of New York and is required by law to have her primary residence in the state of New York, even though her mortgage application listed her intent to have the new Norfolk, Virginia property as her primary home, the letter stated. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have a fascinating situation happening here in New York, but let's turn it over here to Laura Ingraham and hear a little of what she has to say.
And now the Trump Justice Department may be a pain in her you-know-what. The Angle has obtained shocking allegations leveled by the Trump administration against New York Attorney General Letitia James. The Federal Housing Finance Agency has sent a criminal referral to the DOJ accusing James of mortgage fraud. In a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, Director Bill Pulte says James appears to have falsified records in order to meet certain lending requirements and receive favorable loan terms. He cited a property in Virginia that she's allegedly claimed as her principal residence and a property in New York that she claimed as a 4-unit structure instead of the required, instead of a 5, which Pulte says means she was able to get a different type and more favorable loan. Joining me now.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's fascinating. Let's see who they're joining here.
Jonathan Turley, Fox News contributor and law professor at GW University. Jonathan, mortgage fraud is rampant in the United States. There's all sorts of fraud that's rampant. There's disability fraud that they've vowed to crack down on in the Trump administration. But this is another thing that they have vowed to crack down on because it costs real money. Your reaction to these allegations?
Well, obviously, the irony is perfectly crushing. This is a person who prosecuted Trump for everything short of ripping a label off a mattress. And among the charges that were brought in New York, in not just the civil but the criminal case, was making false or misleading statements to financial institutions. And one of these sections, Section 1014, of the federal code, is prosecuted. It took me about 60 seconds of a search to find cases that the Department of Justice brought against people who falsely claimed that property was their principal residence.
So there you have it. So Letitia James in her own set of hot water. I'm not sure why I phrased it that way, but fascinating turn of events when you no longer are protected by the establishment and the particular Democrat administration at that particular time. And so things turn. So, the left and the establishment and the Democrats rolled the dice on Donald Trump to try to convince as many people as possible that he was a one-dimensional villain, and it didn't work because people could see the intent, the hatred, the motivation behind what they were trying to do. It was a political persecution. And now, of course, when we look at things from a different perspective as to the same individuals and what they get away with, and that's the issue, you see, just like the individuals that are targeting Tesla and other individuals that are out there doing what they're doing, AOC, for example, with the deal with the illegals and giving them information. You see, this all comes back to them. When the establishment uniparty is in power, of course, they empower individuals to get away with things like this. And now they can't. They're not there. So when you see the constituents of the Democrats complaining about do something, do something, do something, the Democrats really can't do much about it. Donald Trump is the president, and they don't like him, and so the constituents want him shut down. And, of course, they're doing their best with federal judges to try to stop everything he tries to do. But, of course, these are just stop gaps. These are just legal timeouts that will continue to go on because they can't stop Donald Trump. Because if a judge can be more powerful than the president, then what's the purpose of being president? Or what's the purpose of there being a president? Now, you can argue balances of power, but that goes through the executive branches, or that goes through the various branches of government. And, of course, it can have checks and balances. But the thing here is that Trump is intentionally focused on those things that he, as chief executive, can do. So this is all just a political game by the Democrats, and they continue to play this. Just like the governor who's going down to El Salvador, it's all a performative situation for them. This is all of them trying to look good to their base to show that they are resisting against Donald Trump, but it is absurd. But I'd love to get your thoughts and comments down in the comments section on your particular thoughts on the events happening to Letitia James, and finally some attention being brought to this. But of course, I want them to specifically address the political persecution, the prosecutorial misconduct, and the violations of Trump's civil rights and rights of conspiracy, many different things that they went against towards Trump to violate his rights. And I would like to see those addressed, but I do welcome your thoughts and comments down in the published section or comment section. Not sure why I say published, but nonetheless, you know exactly what I mean. But I want to thank all you guys across NewTek, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, as well as TikTok, for your guys' continued support. And, of course, below the video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to include X, as you see up here in the corner. You guys can check those out, and affiliate marketing links are down there below. So if you order frequently from Amazon or are a Prime member, you can use my landing page, and your privacy will be protected. And talking about privacy, I have a Trust Zone VPN down there, virtual private network that I use. It is awesome. But your guys' likes, shares, and comments do help out the channel tremendously. But I do want to thank all you guys here on YouTube for your guys' continued support, of course. And appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon for those watching on YouTube. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way, know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.